So Lebensohl has basically three main applications. That is to deal with interference over one no trump, to deal with the situation that happens when your partner doubles a weak two opening, and also with a little twist, it can be used to handle reverse bidding. We're certainly going to get through the first two topics in this 6 weeks, and I would like to do at least 1 week on reverses, but that is a complicated little subject. But I think that if we get through these 6 weeks with what we're going to look at with Lebensohl in the first two contexts, that you're going to be able to figure out, it's just going to be very easy to transition into a little bit broader Lebensohl, into the more modern versions of Lebensohl, and find other applications for it. Last week we started with the main tool of Lebensohl, which is a relay bid. In fact, last week we didn't do any bidding whatsoever. We just looked at how, by using a two no trump bid, we can create multiple paths. And I hope I stressed to you enough how important that was, because as we move forward, we're going to find ourselves using that tool to create multiple paths in a few different contexts, as we start learning exactly how to bid our hand and what the bids mean. So, last week we looked at it as a way to show a weak lower ranking suit. Let's say the opponent's overcalled our one no trump with two hearts, and we want to bid diamonds. Well, we can't bid it at the two levels. So is there a way to bid a strong diamond hand and also a way to bid a weak diamond hand by eventually bidding three diamonds? And we agreed, yeah, if we use this two no trump relay, make our partner bid clubs and then bid three diamonds, that would be one way. And the other way would be as if we immediately bid three diamonds to stop. Now today we're going to look at the meaning of those two bids among the other meanings. We also, that last week, that sometimes we know that we don't really have a suit of our own and we want to bid three no trump because we have 10 or more points, but we don't have a stopper in the suit that's been overcalled. And we came up with a way by using the relay to create two paths to three no trump. One where we just bid three no trump, and the other where we first relayed and bid three no trump. Now, we didn't assign any meanings to those two routes, but obviously we can. And we can make one for I have a stopper and one for I don't have a stopper in their suit. We'll get to that maybe third week here or fourth week. Actually, next week probably. And then finally, we looked at it in terms of a bid that we call Cubid Stamen. Right? This is a common bid where when let's say the opponents, we open one no trump, the opponents bid two diamonds. We can bid three diamonds as a Stamen bid when we're using, and I think Lebensohl's almost necessary for this, but I know people that do it without Lebensohl. And that's basically looking for a 4-card major. What we figured out was with the relay, we could create two paths to that Cubid. One where we bid that Cubid directly, and the other where we used the relay first. So we made a slower route to that Cubid. And by having two paths, then we could assign two meanings. And obviously the meaning would be I have a stopper in their suit or I don't have a stopper in their suit. So that's what we did last week. And I hope you've got this relay down, because we're ready to move into the next little section of this course where we're going to start assigning some meaning to the bid so we could actually use it while we're bidding. Let me ask you this. This is kind of a broad question. It's got multiple answers, so let's hear from a bunch of people. When your partner opens one no trump and you have a hand that you're going to do something other than pass, what kind of hands do you hold in that situation? Sure, we have hands with 8 or more points, although if we're transferring, maybe we have less. We can have an invitational hand. We can have 5-card suits. The long suit might be there. We got link with no points to transfer. Strong, weak, balanced, not balanced, good one. Slam, maybe even land, those kind of points. But okay, those are all great. Let's look at, let's go with bass player here for a second. Let's look at the second part of his answer, shape. Sometimes we have a suit, right? Partner opens 1 no trump and we have a long suit. If we have a 5-card suit, 5+ points, and a major, we usually are using some type of transfer bid, correct? If we have a minor suit and 6+, then we're usually thinking of some sort of transfer bid to the 6-card minor. Regardless of the number of points. Sometimes we do this with little or nothing, right? If we have a long suit, we think, well, I got nothing, but my partner is going to get crucified in 1 no trump. He probably should just be in my suit, and he'll do better, even if it means bidding it at the 2 level or the 3 level. His chances of not getting snowballed will be much better. And so we'll transfer, right? So one type of suit, one kind of hand that we hold is a hand with a long suit. Hand with a long suit is one type of hand we might hold. And we know we're going to bid, and sometimes we bid it weak. Sometimes we bid it invitational. Sometimes we bid it as a prelude to bidding slam, or looking for a slam, right? So we have all sorts of point ranges, but the notable factor that we have is we have a long suit. And I think we looked at some of these last week. For instance, in this hand right here, right, if our partner opened 1 no trump and it went pass to us, we know exactly what we want to do with this hand, right? What would we do? We got 5 points and a 5-card major. Yeah, we're going to bid our suit. Absolutely. That's kind of the point. At the same time, we would do, well, for heaven's sakes, what's going on there? That's a little scary. Here's another 5-card suit, but this time we have 10 points. As Lynn pointed out, last time we were transferring and passing. This time we're still going to transfer, right? If it goes 1 no trump pass to us. David's downgrading this 10-point hand a bit. I don't know that I would with Ace Doubleton, but the bridge judgment is what makes, evaluation is what makes the game fun, the way we look at hands. I would probably transfer and bid 3 no trump, and not just because I also am a bass player. So these are things that we want to do regardless of whether the opponents get involved with the bidding or not. Nothing really changes. We kind of discussed that last week. Our goals are still the same. We were hoping to drop our partner in 2 hearts and get out of the bidding with this 5-point hand. So what we need here is a simple drop bid that says, partner, don't you dare bid any further. I got crap. You've told me what you had. My best evaluation, knowing what your hand is to just bid 2 hearts. But it has to also convey the message that we don't have enough points to go further. Okay? So, we come to our first rule using Lebensohl, right? Is that we're going to say that all 2-level bids are weak. Or the better way to say it, are to play. All 2-level bids are to play. All right? Hard and fast rule. All 2-level bids are to play. So here we have no problems bidding 2 hearts, right? We've given up the transfer, but we have found what we still think is the best contract, which is 2 hearts. And because all bids at the 2 level are to play, we do not have to be concerned about our partner bidding. Questions? Forget all about the stolen doubles. There is no such thing. No such thing. We are replacing that sort of improvised, flawed method with Lebensohl. That's what's getting replaced. Yes. Then that is the actual issue that Lebensohl. We have to make some compromises. And now the 1 no trump hand is going to be the dummy. So it's going to get led through. Does this happen even without interference? Only difference is, the question is, does this happen without interference? This is from Marg. Yeah, without interference, it would be the same, except we get to do the transfer. We're still looking to play it in 2 hearts with this hand. Whoops, not that hand. We're still looking with our 5 points here to play this hand in 2 hearts. But because there's no interference, we can use the transfer bid instead. We can use Jacoby transfer. When they bid, they take the Jacoby transfer away from us. But that's all they do. We still get to bid our heart suit. And we get the bonus of being able to play it. Right? This hand would be bid like this in normal circumstances. Right? But when they interfere, we still want to find the same place, right? The 2 hearts. We're going to get to the strong second hand in a second. This is the weak hand. This is a hand where we want to play at 2 hearts. Okay? The idea is 1 no trump, 2 diamonds, and the hard and fast rule is bids at the 2 level are to play. Okay, bids at the 2 level are to play. So with this 5-point hand, we'll get to the relay in a second. We're just focusing now on this one rule. The relay, 2 no trump is always a relay when there is, I wouldn't go to 2 no trump, Diana. I could see where these days if you've opened it with a queen stiff, you may feel safer in no trump. But the problem is this: if you decide you should take this hand to no trump, right? Then, and you don't have communication, all of partners' points might be in hearts. You literally may be saying, okay, I'm going to play it in two no trump when my partner warned me off of it. Said, don't play this in one no trump, play it in hearts instead, you'll be safer. And that you make this unilateral decision, I'll still play it in two no trump, right? Now you're one level higher than your partner warned you was a problem, right? So let's say that you had two hearts, you thought that was enough communication, except that it turns out partner's missing the ace king, right? And suddenly, or has a finessable king, and suddenly, right, you're in two no trump, and all of the points that in your partner's hand are useless, and now you're just playing with your one no trump opener against all the rest of the points in the deck, which is a sure recipe for losing. The idea here is he's trying to give you a suit that you can do something with. I mean, it's sort of the same theory why we use transfers at all. I mean, if we always think one no trump is better, even if it's a 5-2 fit, then why would we have ever bothered to transfer, right? The idea is we're trying to give the responder's hand some value that it normally would not possess, and that's by making their long suit the trump suit. All right? So here, first rule, this simple. Sometimes just trying to go one down instead of two, right? Keeping it simple. Two level bids are to play. Over interference. Okay? Two level bids are to play over interference. So let's look at this one. I want to. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they have 4 or 5. Okay. Here we go. So one no trump. What would you do with this hand? Jim's going to transfer. It's going to be a 2-heart transfer, then pegs agreeing, 2 hearts transfer to spades. Yeah, obvious, right? This is something we learned early on, right? This 2-level transfer. And partner, we make the transfer, partner bids the two spades, and we pass, and we end up in 2 spades. Now the only thing that's going to change is this. Now they bid 2 hearts. Our actual goal hasn't changed at all. We still want to be in 2 spades, right? We think that's the safest place. Right? But what we've lost is the ability to transfer. We'll make up for that loss a bunch once we get on to the stronger hands. But here, yeah, it's just 2 spades. 2 level bids are to play. Yes, you do have to alert the 2 spades. It's an artificial bid. Actually, it's a natural bid, but you have to, because you're playing Lebensohl, you have to do it. If you're having some echo, make sure that you don't have BBO voice on and Zoom on. That will create an echo. There would be no other reason to have an echo. Certainly not from my end. There you go. I like that idea. It's a bass player. Right contract, wrong-sided is better than the wrong contract, right-sided. All right. So there we go. Now, the flip side of that coin, also, another thing you might think about if you're having echo is to put earbuds on or turn your volume down. Sometimes you can get some feedback. And maybe I fixed it right there. If you came into Zoom and had your mic on, you could get echo from that as well. All right, so to play, two is to play. The flip side of that one should be pretty easy. If the 2 level is to play, oops, we can have a meaning for the 3 level. There you go, another idea, a BBO voice hack. This is the hand we had up before. A couple of us disagreed on whether this was a game-going hand with its ace doubleton or whether it was invitational because of the jacks. I want you to go with this is a game-forcing hand, okay? Because we'll talk about invitational hands in a bit. So let's just agree this is a game-forcing hand. How would you bid it if there was a pass to your right? Some 2 diamonds, some transfer bids. Transfer, then 3 no trump, absolutely. Right? We would transfer to hearts. When our partner does us the favor of listening to us, right, then we would bid 3 no trump. And now he would know we have exactly 5 hearts and we have game going hand, right? And then he would simply pick, or they would simply pick to play in 4 hearts or to play it in 3 no trump. Simple enough, right? This simplicity is one of the reasons why opponents are so quick to get involved in the bidding, is because they know how easy it is for us to find a good fit, right? So they will, oops, man, I did all those undos and then hit redeal. So they jump in all the time, and this time they jump in with 2 spades. Now we want to go to game, and we want to show our long suit. We want to go to game and we want to show our long suit. And we come to our second rule. Three level bids are game forcing after opponents interfere. Jim must be terrifying at the table. He glares at the right-hand opponent before betting 3 hearts. Okay. 3 level bids are game forcing after opponents interfere with our no trump. So 3 hearts is game forcing. Now that doesn't say it has to be played in hearts, right? Because your partner may have 2 and have spade stop, and they may decide, well, the best thing is to be a no trump, right? But now you're forcing the game, and if he bids 3 no trump, with this hand, you pass. Now, if you had 6 hearts, you probably either use Texas transfer, which would be the smart thing to do, right? Or you just leave it here if you have 5. You know, you're cool with that. You've got your short suit is protected by the ace. This can't go too wrong. You've got 3 small spades, and if he's got spade stops, he probably has honor 3 at least. Right? So you let him play it there. But the heart bid was nonetheless game forcing. The heart bid was game forcing. Texas transfers are still on. If you had a 6-card suit here, for heaven's sakes, bid 4 diamonds. There's no requirement you use Lebensohl here. If you had a Texas transfer hand before they bid, You have a Texas transfer hand after they bid. Absolutely. Thank you, Ellen, for that. Yes, everything you would do on for Texas is still on. I don't know what those things might be, but basically their interference with your 6-card suit in a major would not change anything. By the way, let me repeat, because I know I only mentioned it once in the notes. Lebensohl is not necessary if they bid 2 clubs. If it goes 1 no trump 2 clubs, then you can simply double it if you were going to use Stamen. And if you were going to make a major transfer or a minor transfer, you can still use all the transfers. The same thing is true if they double. If they double 1 no trump, it might be wise to know whether it's for penalty or whether it's showing a long suit, but you'll simply bid your hand as you normally would. So Lebensohl is not on after a double or 2 club overcall. Being asked, what is a Texas transfer? You use a Texas transfer at the 4 level when your partner opens 1 no trump. And that's when you have 6 of your major suit and say like about 10 to 14 points or so, or 9 to 14. You can use it a little lighter because you're going to have some distribution. But that's a Texas transfer. I have no idea why it's called Texas, whether it was invented or Texas, or maybe just because it's a big transfer, and Texas, as we all know, is a big state. All right, so here's 1 no trump here. Curious, what would your plan be with this hand? Always promises at least 6. That's you're counting on the fact that you have a fit because your partner opened no trump. Of course, it turns out he did so with queen stiff, and you actually ended up in game with 6-1, but that's fine. If a partnership can't survive some 4-3 fits and some 6-1 fits, then it's probably not a very good partnership. Yes, if you're playing somebody, if you play a weak no trump, you can also modify Lebensohl to make it work. I'm not saying it's the best thing, and I only played weak no trump for about a year or two, and I can't remember what we did. I assume we played Lebensohl. You'd have to make the necessary point adjustments, as you always do playing weak no trumps. Bid 3 diamonds, game force, and a good diamond suit looking for slam. Okay, but that's not an unreasonable plan, regardless of process. Sort of where you're headed for, though, right? You're thinking, oh, this is excellent hand. It could even be a slam. So we would have to find a way to bid that kind of thing. I think that other people might say this is good enough for 3 no trump and just bid it without the transfer. Saying, if I squint a little bit, pretend the 6 of diamonds is in the heart suit, that's what I would do. Otherwise, we probably transfer and then bid 3 no trump or 4 no trump. I'm not sure, right? But we know that we're going to game, and we know we want to at least let our partner know that we've got excellent diamonds. So the opponents can actually do us a favor here, right? Yeah, I think best plan is perfectly fine too. Let's say they bid 2 hearts, though. Now, we know that 3 level bids are at the game forcing. And look at that. Bass player is, I'm going to get his real name here in a second. Andy's plan actually turns out to be exactly what we're going to do. 3 diamonds, game force, with a good diamond suit, right? When we use this bid, we'll always have 6 in a minor. Sometimes we'll have 5, but generally speaking, we're going to have the long diamond suit, because otherwise we're probably going to be looking straight at no trump, right? But here, 3 level bids are game forcing. Game forcing 3 diamond bid. And we'd have to alert that too. And we probably should have before we bid it. You know, saying game force, diamonds, game force. Okay, and then your partner would do what he wanted with that. He might bid a suit he's concerned about. If he was worried about the heart suit, he might bid the heart suit. You know, I'm saying, hey partner, that's all fine and good, but the best I have here is a partial heart suit, and I'm not sure that it will survive. And indeed, on this hand, it wouldn't. Right? And without hearts here, maybe you bid 4 diamonds and say, yeah, well, let's do 4 diamonds. Yeah, don't give it a name. It's a bid. Don't call it being asked if that's a Western Cubid. Calling it a Western Cubid will just get you into arguments about what a Western Cubid is, right? The better thing is to say 3 hearts, we got a problem here. All right, so maybe it goes like this. But the key to us, like most of the bidding that takes place after Lebensohl starts is natural bidding. But the key bid here is the diamond bid, right? Game force with diamonds, right? 3 level bids are to play. $10, $11 points this time. I don't think we would have any disagreement that this is a game-going hand that could be played in 3 no trump or in 4 hearts. And to show that, we would simply transfer to hearts, agreed, and then bid 3 no trump. And our partner would know we have game points and a 5-card heart suit. So we got 1 diamond, they overcall 2 diamonds. What would it mean if we bid 2 hearts? Yeah, to play. I thought nobody was responding, but my computer was lagging. Then I got all the answers at once. Very good. Everybody got it right away. I'm sure it was just my computer lagging. Okay. So, and if we bid 3 hearts, we're the flip side of that coin, right? 3 hearts, game force. If our partners decided 3 no trump was in the best place, then we're there. We're happy to be there. We just pass and let him play it. But we've shown him our hand. All right? No, just it does not promise 6 because you would think of it as 2 things. First of all, with 6, you could do a Texas transfer. 5 makes the most sense. It's basically what we're doing without East bidding. What have we lost by this? By using the 3 level as a game force with that suit, what is the aspect that we've lost in what we do without it? If they had not bid, what would we have done? We would have transferred. But now they've bid, and we're bidding the suit at the 3 level, right? Yeah, and we're not going to be able to show a second suit. Yeah, Andy's rule. So I'm just pointing this out, and I'm only going to do it once or twice during this course. And I don't want you to focus on it at all, okay? But what we've lost at is the transfer, okay? And the fact of the matter is, you don't have to. You just have to agree to play transfers at the 3 level, and then you have to sort out a couple things. That's called transfer Lebensohl, or I call it 21st century Lebensohl. We're learning 20th century Lebensohl. Of course, most of the music I've played before class has been in the 20th century, so I think you know where I'm coming from. But if you decide to play transfer Lebensohl later on, you're not going to have any problems. You're going to know it immediately. You're just going to have to figure out how to transfer if diamonds would be the transfer suit. And there's a couple different ways to do it, and that's the only thing you'll need to agree on. Okay? But 3 hearts, game forcing with hearts. Okay, if it comes up again, I may mention it again, but otherwise, don't worry about it. Just know there is a thing called transfer Lebensohl, and you are going to be able to learn it if you want to. The problem is you'll find even fewer partners to play it with than you will when you say Lebensohl, and they've been playing clubs all their lives, and they don't really ever adopt any tournament gadgets, and they don't know it, right? And they say, oh, we can just play stolen doubles. I'd rather just play natural bids before playing stolen doubles, by the way. Anyways, let's move on to this hand. Right? We've got a question. What if responders vary on balance? 5 hearts, 6 clubs, 2 spades. Still want to go to 3 no trump? Maybe not. Maybe not. Think about how you would bid that hand without interference, and then just try to adapt to it. Like maybe you would you would transfer to hearts and then bid clubs, right? And then bid the clubs again, and then refuse to let partner play in 3 no trump. Eventually, he'll get the idea. But that's a little too specific of a question for a general answer. All right. This hand now, we've got 7, 8 points, and really nice heart suit, right? Really nice heart suit. What would you do with this hand when your right hand opponent passed? Sure. And then after your partner bids 2 hearts, what are you going to do? Right? With 1 diamond pass, 1 no trump pass, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts pass, 2 no trump, we are showing a 5-card heart suit and invitational values. So we're asking partner to go to game if they have something extra. Right? If they're at the top of their range or have a really impressive 15 or something. Now it's Andy's differentiating between an imps game and a match points game and saying it's definitely an imps invite. I agree. It's not an imps game forcing bid. At match points, I would still invite. The ace doubleton persuades me. Plus I have a 4-card club suit. And my heart suit is beautiful. So I think I'm invitational at match points. And I get a nod from my fellow bass player. All right. So now we have to deal with what happens to our invitational hand when they get involved. As always, nothing has really changed in our hopes for the hand, right? The virtue of a 1 no trump opener never disappears. Responder always has a great idea of what to do with the hand. That's why we love 1 no trump openers, right? They're so easy to bid. We still know what we want to do. We want to invite, right? And we want to show our heart suit. So we need a way to do that. Right? And we know that we can't do it with 2 hearts because 2 level bids are to play. We know we can't do it at the 3 level because 3 level bids are game forcing. So what we need is a third way to hearts. And once we start thinking, Mike, if we really got last week's lesson and really understood the notes, then we are immediately here. What, you need another way to bid hearts? I know a way we can do it, right? Which is we'll go ahead and use the relay. Of course, these are alerted. So we have 2 ways to 3 hearts. One way by bidding it directly to show a game force, and the other way by using the relay and then bidding 3 hearts. Trish has suggested we could double or bid the heart. We're going to get to doubles in a bit, but not yet. We're going to have a special meaning for our double. It'll be a variation from the Anderson book. That's all right. This is a way to use a third route, use the relay to bid. Now, why can we do it? Why can we do that here? Why do we have 3 ways to bid hearts? It's because we could bid 2 hearts at the 2 level. Yeah, there is the answer, because our suit is higher ranking. If it was not higher ranking, then we're out of luck, right? Then we're out of luck, because we would have to use the 2 no trump relay something like this. No, I don't have that hand here. Why don't I have that hand here? Okay. Don't have a hand to demonstrate it, but the fact of the matter is that when the suit is higher ranking, we can bid at the 2 level, we can bid at the 3 level, and we can use our relay to get to the 3 level. And that gives us 3 ways. Once we have 3 ways, we need 3 meanings. Bridge is a difficult language. I used to know how many words we actually had. If you count all the suit bids, all the no trump bids, and the doubles and the redoubles and the passes. But is it 15? Okay. I mean, we actually have a lot of other things that we can do once we add a relay, right? Once we add a relay, we increase our language a lot. Let's try this one. While East has gone into the tank trying to figure out what he's going to bid, you look at your hand, you have 5, 6, 7, 8 points with a stiff. Not a bad 4-card suit either, right? In diamonds. Right? So what would you be thinking that you were going to do with this hand? Yeah, I think I'm transferring as well. I'm going to transfer, and then I think I'll invite. Yeah, exactly. Transfer to spades and invite. That's what I would do. They come in with the 2-heart bid. Now what are you going to do? Nothing's changed, right? Still want to show the spades, and you want to invite to game. All in one fell swoop. What would be your plan here? Relay the clubs. And then 3 spades, right? And this hand, this one is invitational. This is an invitational bid, the 3 spades. So you'd need to alert that as well. Your partner will probably pass you there if he's got 15 and maybe even 2 spades, right? If he's got a problem playing a no trump especially, like a weak heart suit, okay? No, not in these sequences. We're not worrying about that. We'll let our partner worry about that. Our priority here is to show our long suits. What's the plan here? The question, by the way, for the class video. Oh, actually, the class video will now have all the questions on it. Oh, it won't, because I was going to crop that out. Yeah, the question was, are we going to worry about the opponent's suit? And no, not when we're showing our own suit. And if you think about it, we don't, when we're bidding our long suits, and they're not bidding, we never worry about the other suits, right? So not a big deal. What's the plan on this one, though? Right? We have a game-forcing hand. Have a game-forcing hand and a long club suit. Not doing anything like Bays, Margie. So we got some relays to clubs and then bidding clubs. Do we have, there we have that 4-card spade suit. That's the problem. Yeah. What would we do without? What would we do without them interfering? Yeah, without them interfering, we would be bidding Stamen, right? And then worrying about it later. I don't know why this hand is here. It's in the wrong week. Let's try this one. Forget you ever saw that hand until later, because next week, or week after next, we're going to take on Cubid Stamen. But here, back to the salt mine, so to speak. Need to change your point of view. All right. I had to get rid of that last hand, Trish. It was for the wrong week, and we weren't up to Stamen yet. Yeah, here we're simply transferring. Here we're simply transferring. Now what are we doing? Three spades. 3 spades, assuming that you read North's hand as game forcing with 10 points and a 5-card suit, we would bid 3 spades. If you believe it's invitational, I think somebody was on to that. They bid 2 no trump and then bid 3 spades after the relay. as invitational. But if you read this as game forcing with a couple aces, you bid 3 spades. Right? Game forcing and spades. And there you are. There's your opening hand. Where do you want to play it? No trump, 3 no trump, or 4 spades? Yeah, obviously we're going to take 4 spades. Doubleton king of clubs. It's not the hearts that bother us. In fact, if West has 6 hearts and you have 4, you know, you're looking probably for your partner to be short in hearts. So definitely going to bid 4 spades. When we're bidding, we're asked why not 2 no trump first for the heart stopper before transferring. We're not worrying about stoppers when we're showing our own suits. We're going to worry about stoppers when we're using Stamen or when we're bidding directly to 3 no trump. Okay, so when we don't have a suit of our own, a 5 card or better suit, right? Then we have a Lebensohl includes a way to check for stoppers in the opponent's suit. Okay, but when we're bidding our own suit, we simply don't worry about the stoppers. I mean, on this auction, opener might, if the opener was thinking that 3 no trump was better, like maybe he had 2 spades, he might take into fact, you know, that if he had like the 2-3 of clubs and nothing in the club suit, you know, or rather the 2-3 of hearts. And he might be worried, I'm never going to get a heart stopper. You know, that might bother him. And then because of that, he might choose to play spades even with 2. But the responder's goal is not going to take into account a stopper in the bid suit at all. Okay. Opener, in deciding where to play the game, might want to be thinking about the heart suit before we bid 3 no trump. Okay, back to North's hand. Now, as I've said before, always think about what would you do even if, you know, if the opponents hadn't thrown in their annoying little overcall, what would your plan have been? You know, and think about that, because it usually leads you to the right spot, right? You're going to go, oh, I got a long suit and game forcing, right? I should be at 3 level. So here he's got 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, kind of soft points. Hearing a lot of votes for a game force. Let's go for it. Right, so game forcing 3 no trump. Back to opener. What do you want to do? And it's really a choice of games, right? Want to go for 9 tricks? Or take 10? That's 17 points. What if you can take 5 spades in a 5-2 fit? Eke out that 450. But yeah, I think a lot of people would bid 3 no trump here. Figuring 4 to the king 9 should be good for it. So we're going to try to take 430, somebody suggests, to make up for the 420 game at match points. But this still makes sense, right? This makes perfect sense. You might even, who knows, you might even score your 9. And then, of course, this happens. And you're the hero, right? Partner lays down 3 and you have 4, right? You immediately know that after the ace of hearts lead, you got 2 stoppers. If he underleads the ace, you still got two stoppers. How about jumping to 4 no trump? I'm sorry, I missed when that came down. 4 no trump would have to be some sort of slam try. And opener is never going to be in the position of making a slam try. Okay. Now there's, as someone just said, not enough goodies. All right, let me put you back in the responder seat. Two spades would be to play. Certainly an option here with what? 4, 5, 6, 7 points. Got a couple in with two spades. There's a 2 no trump. And there's the 4 hearts. I was waiting for the 4 hearts as well. Yeah, I think those are all pretty good. A Texas transfer here would be, I got 7 points in a stiff, and I got King Jack 9 in a diamond suit, and I'm just looking for a few things, and let's play a game, partner. And 4 hearts would be a transfer to 4 spades. Now, someone who read this as invitational instead would bid the 2 no trumps as a relay to clubs, and now they would bid. If you think this is an invitational hand, what would you bid? Three spades, yes, Peg, exactly. Right? Our alternative way to 3 spades, instead of bidding it directly, we can just bid. We'd bid the relay and then 3 spades. So invitational, right? And I wouldn't treat this by points alone. Yeah, the opener might assume 5, but let's say that happens. Good idea. Let's say that happens and he bids 3 no trump. What are you doing? Yeah, we'll put him back in spades. We won't let him make that mistake. All right. Oops. He's going to interfere with 2 hearts. And what would your plan be with this hand? Got a question here. As opener, if partner invites like this and you only have 2 spades and don't want to accept, you can just leave it in 3 spades. Exactly. Exactly. If you don't want to go any further, just leave it in 3 spades. What? The worst is you're playing a 5-2 fit. All right? There are much more worse tragedies in bridge than playing a 5-2 fit or a 4-3 fit. We just learned to think that it's a catastrophe because we concentrate as beginners on 8-card majors so much. But the fact of the matter is that 4-3 fits are just perfectly fine. Sometimes they don't go well, but sometimes they don't go well when you got an 8-card fit. Sometimes they don't go well when it's a 9-card fit. So got to learn how to be happy in a 4-3 fit or a 5-2 fit. Got to learn to love them. So what's the deal with his hand? 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. Game forcing. I'm not sure where the 2 no trump would go to, frankly. I mean, our problem is that if we didn't have a suit, we would feel weird. But, maybe we just put the game force in place with the diamonds. I mean, one way to do this would be what we'll look at next week, which is getting to 3 no trump when we don't have a stopper. And we're going to take that up next week. But let's just stay with this week's lesson. Let's make a game force in 3 diamonds. And our partner bids 3 spades. Now, yeah. Now let's have him bid 3 hearts. Let's have him bid 3 hearts, saying, partner, I'm really worried about hearts. Really worried about hearts. And you have no help for him. What would you bid now? I think probably 4 clubs, yeah. It's like, okay, partner, here's my hand, right? This is where I live. I got 5 diamonds and 4 clubs. So I'm at least 5-4. And I don't have any help in hearts. Four clubs is never Gerber in my life. 4 club Gerber is something you can just take and toss to the side. It's got 1 or 2 specific uses that make sense, and after that, it's just a world of hurt. Right? 1 no trump, 4 clubs, Gerber. 2 no trump, 4 clubs, Gerber. 1 M, 2 M, 2 no trump, showing 18 and 19 imbalanced. 4 clubs is Gerber. Any other situation, it's just not worth the confusion. You will wreck more hands than you will make. And it certainly wouldn't be here, okay? That's my Gerber rant. And all it will take to get me to do it again is to say the word Gerber. And then I just start on the rant again. It's like it's a broken record. All right. All right, so 4 clubs. Right? Now, partner, let me switch you around to this. Here, you decide what to do with South's hand. Right? This is a scramble. We're in a scramble, but we've identified the problem. Now we got to decide where to play it. Looks like we got an 8-card diamond fit and 8-card club fit. Thank God for ace king, and we hope our partner is really short in hearts. Where are you going to play it? I'm glad to see there's some change. I think both are acceptable. 5 clubs has the virtue of being roughs in both sides. Rough in both sides. If you have four clubs, any shortness on either side. Of course, we don't really have any shortness in our hand, so I don't know that there's any reason to be concerned about a 4-4. But it makes sense. Plus, if you turns out you've got running diamonds on the other side and there's 5 there, then that means you got 2 pitches here from your hand. And when life is really good, you get to pitch 2 hearts, right? And then only lose 1 heart, right? So, yeah. So you take your pick, whichever one. I don't really care. I think probably 5 clubs makes the most sense, but yeah. So it's a scramble, right? It's a scramble. We identify the problem. One more. Oops. Whoop. Last hand. Oh, sorry. You don't want to look at south. Looking at north. 1 no trump, 2 hearts to you. Thank you. 9 points, a stiff in the bid suit. Game forcing. We got to vote for 3 clubs, game forcing with our 6-card suit. Anybody else? Or do we all think Rio has it right? Jim's bidding 2 no clubs. I think this might just to be devil's advocate for making this invitational. All right, rather for making it smaller. But we got a few for 2 no trump. Now, where are you guys going with 2 no trump? I'm just curious. So you're going to dump them there? So you're going to bid 5 clubs here then, or what? This is an interesting sequence. I mean, to do it this way, I never would have thought of doing it this way. You could pass him here and leave him in just a part score with 3 clubs. Might be the best match points one, sure. Might be best for match points. I don't know. I think I'd probably go with 3 clubs. Game force. Makes my partner bid. If he bids something else other than hearts, or he bids hearts suggesting a problem, then we'll work it out. All right, we're past time. We'll leave this one where it's at. Next week, what we'll do is we're going to take on hands where responder no longer has a suit. Right, when it was going to come to him, he was going to, and not only does he not have a suit, he doesn't have a 4-card major. So all the hands that we're going to look at are going to be hands where the most balanced it will be is 2, 3, 4, 4. And there will never be a 4-card suit in the majors. And then we will look at how we handle that hand after they have bid. Okay, and this is where we're going to be back to our relay bid. And as we came up a couple times here today, we are going to be concerned about the stopper. All right, so that'll be next week's lesson. That'll be week 3. Week 4, if you're planning ahead, will be Cubid Stamen. It's going to tie very closely into what we do in week 3. Week 5, we're going to talk a little bit about the meaning of a double, and we're going to start working on week 2s. If you want to be on the email list and you are not on the email list for notes and video links, email me. Don't put it on the chat line. Email me at this thing because I can't, it's so much easier for me to add it later on if I get an email to the giant email list. All right, we're good? Any questions?